that wasn't too bad. No, I didn't see the pop-up in the bottom right.
You have come far, Elf. We thank you for bringing us the ring. We will face the Witch King. We will have your ring.
Damn it. I'll have to give it to them. They are better fighters than the other Nazgul we fought. Because, you know, well, why not?
Galadriel has cursed you with his ring. Give it to her.
I only have time to heal. Well, I can't say it's not what I signed up for. No, it's not. Well, if you'll be unstoppable with a ring, then what chances do you have of defeating the current bearer? I guess maybe in conjunction with their current powers, but...
like all the others Galadriel.
Hmm. I guess these or somebody others.
You will tear the ring from your broken body. We will replace the Witch King.
More like Bitch King!
Relinquish the ring. And no peace.
And no peace? Oh, how could I say no to that?
We will return in time to see the newest of the Nazgûl destroy you.
You will never possess the rings. The rings will possess you.
For the glory of the kingdom, we honor you, Father.
It seems you honor yourselves, the rings.
Not really sure how they managed to defeat a Nazgûl. Then again, the other one killed the Nazgûl in the movie.
I must get back. I must get back. I must get back.
Steady, Ranger.
My time has come. Take me home to Gondor.
Take the ring, now. You will not get another chance.
Please. Don't let me die in this cursed land.
Of course.
The one issue with this is it does kind of screw up the timeline. Cause the other way implied that he spent ages alone, decades holding the line. Here makes it seem a lot smaller.
The ring. You told me once when the time came you would do what is needed. Give me the ring.
Yes. Of course. Such a little thing. Why should I give it?
Talion, do not betray the man you were.
You speak to me of betrayal. You abandoned me. You and Galadriel. You took everything from me. I have fought this war alone.
Talion, you are not alone.
This ring is mine. And Talion is no more.
It was inevitable.
You will die now. You will die for your lost cause.
I will do what I vowed long ago. Give me the ring. You will find freedom.
Never. This is my destination.
Kind of, firstly, Talion's line there was referencing Bilbo's, wanting to keep the ring. Secondly, we're kind of making one of the Nazguls we just killed was saying.
Your name is Talion. You are a ranger of Gondor.
Fight a Nazgul. You fight a hollow man.
Okay, I do kind of I quite like this fight across the city. Oh, okay, never mind. She's doubling back.
I will set you free, Nazgul.
Damn it, I didn't want to do that. Leave goo. Thank you for waiting.
Light of the Galadriel.
What? But yeah, but basically I was thinking that Nazgul could probably only be killed with like enchanted weaponry. Well, no, the
Galadriel!
provided that Shield Maiden did actually kill them in canon, kill that one in canon, then apparently not. I'm telling you to do finisher.
I will destroy
Arrogance of theirs. You will fail.
It's a feint.
May you gain some freedom in death.
I am banished from death and bound to the flaming eye. As long as I have breath in my body, my fate is my own.
Your work here is done. We will go into the West.
Not yet.
In the years that followed, Talion continued to fight the forces of darkness. She traveled east, and she returned to Mordor many times. She witnessed the fall of Barad-dûr and the escape of Celebrimbor.
The Ringmaker is free. He calls to you. I will follow his call.
Just need to stop and check what happened. Just what I said at just at the end of the Talion fight. I think I was just bitching about doing the other thing. Not doing the finishes. 1, 2, 3. Not the end. Talion's story may be over, but there's still more to do. Be sure to complete the Fallen Blades challenges to obtain Talion's legendary gear. Okay, she was saying she was gonna follow his thing, but unless there's anything else, that's it. That kinda sucks. So Talion's... That was the end of Talion's thing, he's now corrupted. Okay, that's the icy place. Over here's the DLC thing. The other one. You know when they showed the Shadow Mordor thing? I wonder if they just used the same... certainly it looks the same cutscene. Did they remake it or just use the same... the old footage? Like, the old stuff looks, you know, there isn't too much of a difference between the games. That they look, you know, it's not like there's a massive jump in quality. Alright, and so they could probably have gotten away with it. Okay. Since this seems to be it, I could go and do the blades, but the challenges, but I'm really not in the mood. Appendices. Okay, we've already heard those. Talion. I strike down men corrupted by these rings. After a new ring was cut from Taliol's finger in her confrontation with the Dark Lord, she was visited by Galadriel in a vision and given new orders. She would put the new ring back on and return to Minas Morgul to destroy Talion, the newest of the Nazgul. Yet things were not as they seemed. Talion learned that while Talion wore the Ring of Isildur, was not under the domination of Sauron, and remained committed to the task of holding back the darkness in Mordor. It would be a counterbalance to the rule of the Flaming Eye and keep Mordor in its permanent state of civil war. After the defeat of the Witch King, however, a new threat arose. A pair of rogue Nazgul determined to possess the rings worn by Talion and Tariel and rule Mordor. Tariel joined Talion in the reinforcement and defense of his force, recruiting orcs while vowing to never use the ring to dominate them. In the end, she defeated Nazgul's sisters and was forced to battle Talion himself after he succumbed to the corruption of the ring and fell under the Dark Lord's domination. Also, yeah, we never really saw outcome from siding with one over the other. It was a completely pointless choice. It would have given us a slightly different quest, but nothing came of it. And she was even saying that that's probably not the last time we've seen them, and yet it was. Well, actually, he did turn up for the defense, but that was it. He was never acknowledged. Well, the final siege, but that was it. So, yeah. In the end, she defeated the Nazgul sisters, and, yeah. I don't know why Galadriel was saying the job was done, because, you know, still hadn't gotten defeated all the Nazgul and all that. But I guess she put in enough hours. In the place of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen, not dark, but beautiful and terrible as the morn, treacherous as the sea, stronger than the foundations of the earth. All shall love me in despair. Galadriel's history among the elves stretches back to the First Age, but in present day she's more troubled by Sauron, Sir-Ring, and Mordor than her peers, and she's more willing to take action. She dispatched Tariel, one of the elves' most accomplished warriors, to hunt the Nazgul in Mordor, thus keep Sauron occupied and off balance. Galadriel knows that Tariel cannot permanently kill the Nazgul, but Galadriel hopes that she can frustrate and delay the Dark Lord's rise. When Eltariel joins forces with Celebrimbor and his new ring cut from her fingers, Galadriel orders her to put the ring back on and defeat Talion, the newest of the Nazgul. So a battle upon a tower. So the Dark Lord defeated and the Bright Lord rise to take his place. But the world did not change. I repeat, the world did not change. After his separation from Celebrimbor, Talion put on one of the nine rings of power in an attempt to hold all of Sauron's armies within Mordor from his fortress in Minas Morgul. The Nazgul ring he wears banishes him from death as effectively as the bond to Celebrimbor once did, and to the orcs of Mordor remains just as fearsome. For years he held back the darkness by pitting himself against the Flaming Eye, but eventually Talion succumbed to Sauron's domination over the rings of power, just as the rest of the Nazgul did. But again, he held the line for ages. As far as I was guessing, from the implications, he held it from the, end of the Hobbit to Lord of the Rings time. But I'm no judge of that. I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the Rings of Power. Last of the House of Fëanor, Celebrimbor, Hand of Silver, and Sindarian was the greatest of the elven craftsmen, responsible for crafting the Rings of Power. Working with Sauron, Celebrimbor made 16 great rings for the men and dwarves. Without Sauron's knowledge, he made 3 more rings for the elves, and yet he was deceived by Sauron, who crafted one ring to dominate the other rings. Sauron then captured Celebrimbor and directed him to further perfect the One Ring, inscribing it with Tengwar script. Realizing the scope of Sauron's ambition, Celebrimbor escaped with the One Ring. Using the One Ring's power to raise an army of orcs, Celebrimbor fought Sauron for dominance over Mordor. In a titanic battle against Sauron, Celebrimbor defeated the Dark Lord but lost the One Ring when it slipped off his finger and onto Sauron's before the killing blow. In revenge, Sauron murdered Celebrimbor's family before his eyes and killed Celebrimbor with his own smithing hammer. But with Celebrimbor's fate bound to the One Ring, he was doomed to remain a wraith until the One Ring is unmade. Celebrimbor's spirit possessed Talion's body when the Ranger died at the hands of the Black Hand of Sauron. Celebrimbor had been wraithed so long that he initially didn't remember his name or past, but with Talion's help, he has regained his memories, including the memory of how to forge a new Ring of Power. Few in Mordor know Celebrimbor by name, but many know him as the Bright Lord, a union of Talion and Celebrimbor. The present-day orcs who flock to the Bright Lord's fortresses don't realize that the Bright Lord they've heard about in folk tales, same historical figure. Celebrimbor himself took the Bright Lord moniker centuries ago when he strove against Sauron. Celebrimbor and Talion diverged, but the town refused to dominate Isildur and killed him instead, freeing his spirit from the Ring of Power's domination. Celebrimbor inhabited the elf Otariel, gave her the new ring, and left Talion to die. Celebrimbor and Otariel traveled to Barad-dûr to confront Sauron for the last time. Celebrimbor and Sauron fought to a standstill, locked in ceaseless conflict atop Barad-dûr as the unblinking flaming eye. Last child of Ungoliant, let us master this unhappy world. I serve none but myself. Shelob's presence in Mordor predates that of Sauron. She is the last child of an ancient evil named Ungoliant, a man of Middle-earth's malign spiders, including those of Mirkwood, are Shelob's descendants. The most she is known by the form of a giant spider, which inspires fear in orcs and men alike. When Talion and Celebrimbor forge a new ring, she snatches Celebrimbor away and exchanges him for the ring. The visions of the future she grants Talion guides his path through the siege of Minas Ithil and beyond. An uneasy alliance begins between the three. Though, as Celebrimbor's wont to remind Talion, while Shelob might be an enemy of Sauron, it's unclear whether she's their ally. Shelob's actions are driven by a powerful vision of Celebrimbor and Talion atop of Barad-dûr, where they defeated Sauron. From there, she saw the Bright Lord's armies conquering all Middle-earth. This was a vision that haunted her, and one that she would not let come to pass. Instead, she wove the web of fate that led to the dissolution of Talion and Celebrimbor's alliance. For the sake of Middle-earth, Mordor needed to be held back, which she accomplished by creating a permanent stalemate between the Flaming Eye of Barad-dûr and the Nazgul Talion in Minas Mogul. Rogue Nazgul. New power rises in Mordor, and it is only a matter of time before it expands. The kingdom of Shen cannot wait until they arrive at our doorstep. We must strike first. Emperor Sagong. Heya and Yuka were from the kingdom of Shen in the farthest east of Middle-earth. Daughters of the Emperor, these powerful warriors were sent to Mordor for conquest. There they waged a war against two of the Nazgul, whose armies they defeated and whose rings they took for themselves. Upon return to Shen, they were welcomed back to a great triumph, though they became corrupted by the influence of their rings of power. They overthrew their father and assumed the rule of his throne, inspiring a tyrannical rule that eroded their empire, even as they never aged. Ultimately, they became servants of Sauron, led them back to Mordor, where they served him for many years. But their ambition had not yet been purged. When the Witch King was defeated at Minas Mogul by Talion, Sauron and Celebrimbor fused together in the Flaming Eye. These rogue Nazgul rose up against their masters in a new attempt to conquer Mordor. I've read that and him, but I didn't read this. Normally, Uruks and Ologs are little more than food for the Great Spider. At worst, they are bothersome adversaries that pose a little threat. This is how our Baruch started off. He was part of a hunting party, sent into Shub's lair to get payback for war chiefs she'd recently eaten, but he changed of heart the second he set his eyes upon her. Instead of a beast, he saw through the veil of darkness and beheld great beauty as well as great power. Moved by the majesty he saw, he turned against the other orcs travelling with him and sued them to keep her safe. While his act was needless, it was appreciated. Our Baruch was spared. From that day he dedicated himself to serving her every need. Look at the Gondorians, the Numemorians. They build things. If the orcs are ever going to have a future, we have to build it. I'm talking buildings, mortar and bone and steel. The architect has grand visions of a future of a future orc civilization. Sees himself as the orc who will build it. The grandiosity of his visions is matched only by the size of ego, which seems to have no bounds. The architect responsible for design and construction of Mordor's many tribal fortresses is always happy to claim credit for those he had nothing to do with. His other major claim to fame is his iconic hammer, the Bone Shaker, which invented for the purpose of construction, but has found it serves just as well for ghoul management, dispatching its enemies, and general destruction. Thor's tinder and flak flint are bound together by the love of all things explosive. I think I read that too. And I read his one. Yeah, I read those. The immense strength and bulk of an ordinary Graug is threatened off, but Graugs capable of spewing bitter cold, virulent poison, or scorching flame have been sighted within Mordor. Most orcs believe that the rare Graugs are the result of ritual experiment for the mystic tribe or manipulation of Sauron himself, thus reluctant to hunt these beasts. A few orc beastmasters, however, see the taming of a rare Graug as a worthy challenge. This is for the new one. I'll read it anyway. Sure, it's hot and a little hot, but it's the dry heat. A desert land south of Gorgoroth, Littled, lies under a punishing sun. Famed for its harsh climate and the were-worms that dwell within its sands, few dare to venture there. While Sauron maintains a fortress in Littled, it's far from the strategic concerns of his empire. The fortress of Shindram is poorly resourced and occupied by an army of marauded orcs who spend their days drinking and gambling far from the front lines of the Dark Lord's war. 1, 2, 3. Litglad is home to a mercenary company known as the Vanishing Suns, who made their home in the ruins of an ancient Numemorian fortress. It is also land favored by hunters who stalk the werewolves and explorers who pick through the technological remnants of ancient Numemorians who once occupied these lands. Light of Galadriel. In times of great need, Galadriel turns to highly skilled warriors who are known as Blades. There is only one Blade of Galadriel active at any given time, and they are gifted a powerful gauntlet known as Light of Galadriel. Blades receive the gauntlet when their assignment is given, and only relinquished when task is complete. The Light of Galadriel has been handed down from one blade to the other for centuries. Gauntlet is infused with the light of Erendil, and in Tariel's case is enhanced with the power of the new ring created by Celebrimbor and Talion. Whoever bears Gauntlet gains the ability to harness the light and unleash upon their enemies. The light is so powerful that it can even repel the might of fearsome Nazgul. It also grants its bearer the ability to heal their wounds and perform other feats. Okay, and that's all the new ones, as far as I can tell. I'm not going to read every single one, I'll be here a long time, and it'll be redundant. So, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this, and till then, love and peace, baby. We'll be getting on to the last one soon. I know I could go do the other stuff, but... Orcs from... Oh, cool. Orcs from the Blade of Galadriel story expansion now available in Talion's Garrison. So, we'll be going to here. But his story... sorry. He's mortal, carries no ring of power, so... It's roguelike. Alright then. Oh, that's fun. So anyway, we'll be going on to Desolation of Mordor then. And then we will be done entirely with Shadow of War. It's kind of sad coming back to it, you know? Like, we know Talion's End and all that, and it's... I know, it's just poking an old wound almost. So, but I should get it done, see the last bit that there is to see, and then I can fully check it off my list. I'm not good at platinum in games. I don't tend to have the patience or interest in that. But at least I can play through the campaigns. Yeah? So, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this, and I do hope you join me again. If there's anything you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below. But until then, love and peace, baby.